I think that's a very good place if eventually we do not have a truce on this discussion tonight. That would be a good place to end it. All is well that ends well. But meanwhile, before we travel to the end, tell us exactly, I see you putting a lot of notes. Let's see. What is it about that judgment that you found very greatly at?
Thank you. You're saying a trial for democracy. I see it as a touch of injustice.
Well, I disagree with you because...
Do you want to continue on that before it comes in?
Yes.
Okay, let's
have a touch of injustice. Unfortunately, we don't have the reason for the verdict yet, for the judgment. But based on the facts available to us, starting from the election day, I want to submit with due respect that that election was conclusive. Because at the point when INEC claimed that election was inconclusive, what is left, the voters left, even if all the votes were casted for the other party, APC will have still won the election. That is one. So on that basis, I think that decision was more political than being, I won't use the word, it's more political than being technical. If you're looking at it technically and saying, yes, the election is not conclusive, therefore, Audu has not won that election.
Well, let me take a poke fast.
Because I want to hang it on the provision of the Constitution.
Okay.
Section 181 is clear about it. That after election,
yes,
somebody has been elected and he has not been sworn in. Once he died, the deputy governor automatically becomes the governor. They are just hinging on the fact now that because the INEC claim the election is inconclusive, on that basis, it cannot be the governor automatically.
Okay. Let Alan come in.
It's INEC.
Yes.
And the INEC came up and said this election is declared inconclusive. The first person that felt the pain was APC, because APC was leading. But when you look at the gap, the difference between what APC candidate had,
put a character to that APC candidate, so we are very clear.
Okay,
some who don't know who represented who.
Yes. I would do.
Yes.
He had 41,351 lead as against.
That was
Idris.
the leading difference.
The leading difference.
Yes.
And then when you look at the registered voters in the 19 polling units,
yes,
of the 21 local government area,
yes,
that was in contention, yes, it was 49,956,100. Yes. Now the question that is begging for answer, from what you have said, yes, is if you add this, you will find out the margin.
How many voted?
Even if the whole of them voted, that is not the issue. It's premature for you to have come to that. Because law, you must rely on on the facts. What are the facts? What are the positions of the law? The law is so clear that by the time you look at the difference of the leading candidates vis-a-vis the area that was cancelled or the area that will remain inconclusive, once it's higher, that election should be declared inconclusive.
Hold on. I know that this is not the time we usually come in to allow our viewers to step in. Okay. But someone has just sent something in here that I'm looking at and may set another precedent for our discussion. She said, this is from Mr. Shaba. Okay. Judiciary has opened room for political killings.
Yes.
Since it's been affirmed that parties own our vote, winner can always be killed.
Yes.
Well, I still disagree with him because the makers of the Constitution have an intent. And that's why Section...
Has that intent played out in this judgment?
It has.
Not at all.
Section 2, look at the combined effects of Section 221 and 222 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, which talks about the right of a political party.
Both of you have this
Constitution. I don't need to consult.
Look at the combined area.
If you look at the combined
effect of Section 181 and 187.
Yes.
Wait, I will not read it in isolation of what you have read because you misread even Section 181. Because Section 181 is
here to read it.
It is upon the conclusion of the election, the word conclusion.
That is why we are talking about the fact that
you cannot start talking about conclusion where it is obvious that it was an inconclusive
The
election.
court ought to
And we have
pronounce on
given,
that
we
issue
have
of
already,
conclusiveness.
you see, we have already stated
That's
that
That's a
the
bad
question.
precedent.
Let me-
we have
yes,
given
let me-
the conditions.
out in
We have
Bayelsa
set out- we have-
again.
we have set out the
We talk
reasons
of
why
inconclusiveness.
the election remained inconclusive. And we have, I equally submit that it's only a political party that can canvass for vote and sponsor a candidate. If that is the case, the vote cast that was in favor of APC,
Yes.
whilst Audu was alive, was merely in abeyance until such a time that they regularized. And remember, that was INEC. It was INEC that asked them to conduct. Hold on, I've not finished. It was equally INEC that directed that a primary should be conducted.
Okay, hold on.
He's not the deputy governor. He was just a merely running mate. Yeah, you must distinguish this. So that I don't mislead Nigeria. Save and except you have been sworn in, not even after you have won.
Who was the running mate?
He was just a running mate. No, you called him a deputy governor. And as I said, you are misleading Nigerians. Because if you look at section 181, it presupposes a completed election. And not a complete election that is in advance.
Thank you very much.
Inconclusiveness is operating.
Who was the running mate of Bello?
Based on that conclusion of the election, which is
the inconclusiveness.
Are you aware of Aleke resign?
The major issue.
And section 1 was clear
issue
that you can never
was to be considered and that was considered was inconclusiveness.
You cannot be a candidate, a gubernatorial candidate, without your running mate. Section 187 is clear.
That is not the
any
issue.
election.
He's reading out of context. As at the time,
You cannot be deemed to be a governor unless you have a running mate.
was leading. As at that time, there was a
Bello
running
does not
mate.
even have running mate.
There was a running
Faleke
mate.
resigned.
There was a running mate.
He picked his running mate or gubernatorial
as so-
candidate after the election.
On the basis,
On that basis,
of the
in
primaries, which they now asked them to conduct,
Based on the
which that
constitution-
was conducted
based
on
on-
the 15th
hold on.
of December,
based on
then
the
there was a
constitution,
running
Bello
mate.
never
hold on, sir. Based on the
contested
constitution
election.
and section 181,
Yes.
what then becomes the relevance of having a running mate as a deputy governorship candidate?
Yes, the whole
let
essence
me
is
show
to
you.
cure.
Let's take-
There is a
187.
mischief.
We
That
clear
there's
to you.
a
See,
mischief that
Section 187 for the owner said in any election to which the foregoing provision, this part of this chapter is related. That's talking of deputy governorship.
No, please read. Let's submit.
A candidate for the office of governor of a state shall not be deemed to have been validly nominated for such office unless he nominates another candidate as his associate
it's
for his
pre-election.
running.
This is
Yes,
pre-election.
that means what I'm saying that Bello at the time he was brought in to take over. I mean to substitute.
He didn't have a deputy governor.
He does not deputy.